Hey there Facebook, it is Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give. And today's message is one that is so on topic for me right now in my life. And it's just something that I'm experiencing in my own life, within my own self, and also with those closest to me at the moment. So I really am really excited to share this with you. But ultimately, I was doing some writing this morning, like I do every single morning, and generally it comes out, I'm the kind of person who I often don't know what is going on within myself until I get it out. I write about it or I talk it out or something. So anyway, what I came up with this morning, based on my current experiences, was that your depth of connection that you experience with another is in direct proportion to the degree in which you can express the true depth of your authenticity. And in not so many words, what I really want to talk to you guys about today is the relationship between depth of connection, my number one top value, and authenticity, and how they are interconnected, and they just can't be separated when we are looking at creating depth of connection in our lives. And I've been on this journey, particularly over the last few months, where I am really focused on being all of who I am without holding back. I am so hyper focused on authenticity, and you guys have been following me for a while. You know that I find a weird way of always interweaving, the power of authenticity pretty much into every single one of these messages, because it is so important. I'm finding it the foundational piece to everything that we truly want to experience and create in our lives. If we're not tapping into that level of authenticity, we never ever get there. So, part of what's been going on for me is working out, the power of vulnerability and how that allows us to tap into new layers of our authenticity. And ultimately, my main priority and focus in my life is my number one value of depth of connection, and my second top value is freedom. So everything that I do in life at this point of my self-awareness is chasing depth of connection and true freedom. And what I've come to believe is that in order to have true depth of connection and true freedom, you've got to have authenticity, you've got to know who you are, and you've got to be operating from that realm. So that kind of is like the domino that allows you to achieve depth of connection and definitely freedom. And so that's what I'm trying to navigate in my life right now. And I'm going through some experiments with people in my life in terms of sharing with them parts of myself that I haven't shared with anybody. And they've actually been the reasons why I've gotten out of relationship, which is something that I wanted to share with you. It's personal to me, but I feel like if it's something that I've really had a lot of experience with, then I know it's going to touch a bunch of you guys out there as well. And my hope is that me sharing this with you will help you to wake up to your patterns and wake up to a new level of self-awareness so that you can make the shifts, because every piece of transformation, evolution commences with that self-awareness. So what I came to discover was that I was becoming the common denominator for the relationships that were ending. And so what I had to sort of take a step back and recognize, hey, why does this keep happening? Why do I keep leaving these relationships with the same reason, which was I didn't feel like I could be all of who I was with that person, so I ended up leaving them. And I had it in my mind, the disempowering belief that they have to create a safe environment for me to be able to fully express the true depth of everything of who I am. And what I was finding was I was leaving friendships, relationships behind time and time again with this same reason. Oh, I couldn't be all of who I was with them, so I needed to leave them behind. And at some point, I needed to take a good, hard look at myself and say, hey, wait a minute, these people are all so different. you're the same and you keep having the same problem. So what is it that you're doing? What is it that, you're the common denominator to these relationships? So what is your pattern that you're currently running that is causing the end of these relationships or creating relationships that weren't meant to be or weren't going to stand the test of time? So what is that? And what I came to believe and discover is that only I can create a safe zone for myself to fully step into and express who I am. Nobody else is going to do that for me. Nobody else is going to do that for you guys out there as well. At some point, you have to step forth with courageous vulnerability and expression of all of who you are so that you can create that depth of connection, so that you can fully experience what freedom is. Freedom is being all of who you are, no matter what, without filter. With anybody, that is real freedom. Entrapment is trying to see and, dip your toe in the water and see whether you can express this piece of yourself or that one, or this one's going to be accepted and this one's not, or whatever it is. That is completely living a life in prison, and I don't want that. And I know you guys out there, at the depths of who we are, every single one of us requires depth of connection, like real depth, without holding back, and true freedom. And I really believe that this is the conjunction of both the masculine and the feminine parts of ourselves that each and every one of us has. So the masculine is all about freedom. That is its deepest desire and yearning, the need for freedom. And for the feminine, it's depth of connection without holding back and restriction. It's free flowing, it's totally open. And so when we can become whole human beings, we meet in this conjunction of both that combination of the masculine's desire for freedom and the feminine's desire for depth of connection and full expression. And so that, to me, that is what we are all attempting to get to in our journeys of self-discovery, awareness, and development, so that we can develop both parts of ourselves and meet with another in that middle conjunction, where we are fully able to, meet the needs of both our masculine and our feminine, that freedom and that depth of connection. And that's what we're here to do, and that is loving fully and being able to love fully. And that is the combination of both giving and receiving. It is in equal balance. And that's why, I really want you guys to get this piece, that your ability to courageously be authentic and vulnerable will give you depth of connection and freedom, which is ultimately what we are all here to experience. So I'm really hoping that today's message is resonating with you guys out there. I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this topic? I love hearing from you guys. What do you think about, what are you experiencing right now? What's your current challenge? Is it in your relationships? Is it in your ability to step forth and be courageously all of who you are? And if you feel like I've felt in the past where I consciously, I think I was actually subconsciously didn't fully express all of who I was, because I didn't feel like I was going to be received in the way that was going to allow me to, continue to feel strong and empowered and move in the direction of my truth. And it is ultimately that fear of rejection that can prevent us from moving forward. But what I've come to discover is that it is in the action, no matter what your fear, that you will generate the kind of strength that no longer relies on whatever the response you get in the external world to mean anything about you. You can handle whatever response, the rejection or, the acceptance and approval, whatever it is. You no longer rely on or are shaken by the response that you get in the external once you start taking that one step in alignment with the truth of who you are and expressing that. So there is so much strength to be had by you going against the fear and going for it no matter what, and expressing the true you so that you can have the depth of connection and the true freedom that we all truly desire and deserve. So if you don't have a community around you right now and you feel like you you need some people who have got your back, who are willing to call you out, who are willing to support you, encourage you, and get you to that next level of your limitless potential, make sure that you come on over and join the Limitless Potential Inner Circle Facebook community. We're waiting for you. We can't wait to have you a part of that group. And it is incredible. I think we're up to something like 1,200 extraordinary human beings in there who are all reaching new levels of their limitless potential, helping, supporting, encouraging, and contributing to each other. So definitely come on over and do that. And who have I got in who's joined me today? I can't wait to check out who's here. I've got Adrian and Stephen and Romani and Dennis and Gabrielle and Jaboni and Caden and Mahinda Pell and Craig's here and Adrian. Hi and bye, off to work. We'll catch a recording later. Awesome, Adrian. Let me know your thoughts when you get a chance to watch. And Trisha and Jeremy and Murad and Brian and Craig and Terry and Jaboni and Ashley, and thank you so much for your kind words there, Mahindapal and Abhishek, and Miratesh and Mike and Johan and two Johans. Hello to both of you. And Spletlan, oh my gosh, guys, I can't get it together with your names as usual, but hope you don't hold that against me and hope you're getting value from these messages. Elliot's here and Terry, happy Wednesday to you. And Eric's here and Phil and Naja and Rashed and Sajad and Danielle and Donald and Eric and Murad. I'm so sorry, but I can't pick up on exactly what you're saying. I can see you're speaking some French. It looks like you're saying some nice stuff there. Hopefully the translator app will help me afterwards. But thank you so much for your comments. And Madeline and Simone and Donald, I'm grateful that you're finding this motivational. And Jason and Mel and Akka and Tanya and Chico and Andrew, thanks for joining me, guys. And Murad, relationship needs some time, proximity, contact, many concerts, colleague. Yeah, okay. Not totally sure what you're saying there, Murad, but I appreciate you, and if you can clear that up for me so I can engage with you, I'd love that. And Ayad and Simona and Josima and Bobby and Kaden, this is so true. Authenticity is the foundation of the longest lasting elements in life. Our fake parts will dissolve in the fire of what's most genuine, and the core of our truth will outlast the masks we wear for society. Loving your authenticity, Vanessa. Thank you so much, Kaden, and I'm loving your words of wisdom. I always appreciate them. They always light me up when I get to read your words. So thank you so much for sharing that with all of us. And I completely agree, that everything that, authenticity is so foundational to all of the beautiful aspects of life and that true freedom and depth of connection. That is where life begins, when we can tap into a level of vulnerability and authenticity so that we can generate that depth of connection and that true freedom in our lives. Absolutely. Appreciate you so much, Kaden and Karen and Jonas. Thanks for being here, and Obina and Scott. Pour on the positive energy. Yes, absolutely. And Yuvan, thanks for being here. And Jason's here. And Dennis, authenticity can't be reached if you are only looking outside yourself, obsessing over ways to live in all the narcissistic traps. To be authentic, unique, and individual, you have to know who and what you are, which comes through self-reflection. Absolutely, Dennis. I completely agree with that. And so many of us, we get caught in that trap. I think every single one of us has experienced that or is experiencing that, where we are so obsessed with the external that we completely neglect the internal, and therefore we get caught up in this complete cloud of confusion because we don't even know who we are or what we want. And we are stopping and starting, and we're going all around the shop because we are seeking the answers from other people who can't truly know who we are. And until we stop doing that and we build a level of self-awareness to recognize that pattern, and we take the time for, like you're saying there, Dennis, that self-reflection, and also, experiencing different things and really learning how to check in with the self to identify who we are, what we want, and have the courage to go after it and be in alignment with that truth. Absolutely, Dennis. And I'm always saying, turn down or drown out the voices in the external world by turning up the volume on your internal world and learning how to trust yourself. And the way that you learn how to trust yourself is to start listening to yourself and start operating in alignment with what you hear. Definitely, Dennis. I appreciate you being here. And Danik, thanks for being here. And Kaden, I went through feelings of suffocation due to believing the lie that someone else is limiting me. It is definitely a trap for those who want the most out of their lives. Absolutely, Kaden. I completely resonate with that. And that really is what the story that I was talking about, feeling so trapped and limited because I was putting all the power in this other person to show up in a certain way that would give me the feeling of feeling safe enough to, lower my guard and be all of who I am. And that is a total feeling of suffocation and total disempowerment. And we need to take back the power and recognize that our freedom lays within, and we have to have the courage to take that step forth and express the truth of who we are from a place of vulnerability, from a place of courage, and no longer rely on somebody else to set that scene for us. We have to do it. And when we step forth in that direction, that is where we access our strength to be able to handle no matter what the external world throws at us in response. But if we hold back and we don't take that step, we're so scared about what those opinions in the outside world will be, because we as ourselves not stepping forth with strength, we can't handle their response. But once we take that step, that's where we generate the strength, courage, momentum to be able to handle whatever the external world throws at us. So I appreciate you, Kaden. Thank you so much for sharing your experience here. And g'day, mate, to you, Jason, and Alonia, and Mark, and Samuel, and Denzel, and Jared, and Rashed. I am married and divorced and beginning new life. I found my power to help people and join local politics and inspired by you and Tony Robbins. I learned to be positive and accepting the life I was focused to become family man. Yeah, and I honor you on that journey, Rashed. And also, isn't it funny just like how many different life experiences we have in one lifetime? We're married, we get divorced, we're in that relationship, we leave it, we have that career, we change careers. Like all of these different things happen along our journey. And I for one get super excited about, new beginnings and leaving the past behind, but taking along those lessons and the gratitude and the blessings and the magic moments and using those to enhance that next part of our journey. So I love that you're on that journey, Rashed, and you're beginning your new life. I'm sending you so much love and positivity, and go for it. I love it. Every single time we have an experience and we leave something behind or we start something new, we are alerted to more about who we really are, like more about what we want, what we don't want, and we get more and more clarity moving forward so that we can create an ever enhancing, better experience of our lives. So, and reach that next level of our limitless potential. Absolutely. So appreciate you, Rashed, and Ashik. You're so welcome. I'm glad you're finding this motivational. And Cassine, thank you for being here. And Samuel, you're so welcome. And Josh, awesome of you to join. You're so welcome, Rashed. So guys, that really is my message. Oh, Kaden, yes, your words are so deep, accurate, and powerful. I'm always happy to catch you live. You're incredible and very appreciated by me and many others. Thank you so much. Oh, you're so welcome, Kaden. Thank you so much for those kind words. You always know how to touch my heart and place a massive smile on my face. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate each and every one of you guys out there. You guys are the reason why I do what I do. You light me up. I love getting to meet you, engage with you, getting to connect with you and talk about the stuff that really matters, in the hope that we can all reach that next layer of our limitless potential together. I love it. And thank you, Kaden. And Dan, you're so welcome. Thank you for being here. And Mahinda Pal from India, I love it. And Eric, you are always so welcome. I appreciate you always joining me. It's so awesome. So guys, I really want you to get that message. Like I said, the depth of connection that you experience with another is in direct proportion to the degree in which you can express the true depth of your authenticity. So go on that journey of self-discovery, discover who it is that you are, operate in alignment with what you discover that to be. Know that we are continuously evolving human beings. There is always going to be a new layer of our authenticity that we have access to. Should we just start to, focus on it, build that awareness, start operating in alignment with it? That is our ticket to everything that we truly desire in this world, which is the depth of connection and true freedom to be all of who we are. So sending you guys so much love, so much gratitude wherever you are in the world today. I'm always sending you my energy, my enthusiasm, everything extraordinary coming to you. And I always appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for everybody who's been able to join me and engage today. And if you're catching this recording, make sure that you drop any questions or comments or feedback. I always rely on you guys to help me keep my finger on the button. So if there is anything that comes to mind as a way that I could be adding more value to you and your lives, then I would absolutely so appreciate hearing from you. That is why I do what I do. And if you can give me that feedback, I will do my very best to step forth in that direction. So last little comments here. So grateful that this is always helpful for you, Eric and Dan. A kind word can go a long way. Too many people only talk negatively. Absolutely. So true. And we're not motivated by the negative. Negativity puts us into a scarcity mindset and keeps us really limited and small. But when we can have positive expectancy and we can focus on everything that enhances us, energizes us, it creates us, that momentum that we need in order to reach that next level of our limitless potential. Absolutely, Dan. Appreciate you being here. And lots of love and blessings to you, Mahinda Pal and Jimmy. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm just about to sign off, so I hope that you catch the recording, get a ton of value from today's message. That is it from me today, guys. Again, sending you all of my love, and I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow.